this episode of Travelogue. Get ready for some fun-filled frolics. We'll be enjoying some culture at the Shenzhen Museum, grabbing our paints and brushes at the Dafen Art Village, getting our print on at the Guanlan print base, heading out to the world's largest golf club at Mission Hills, and working that tan at Dame Shah. There's a bit of culture, a bit of sport, some sea and sun, as well as lots of other stuff.
Hi, I'm Mark Edwards. Welcome to Travelogue and welcome to Shenzhen. We've woken up a tiny bit earlier so that we could hike to Lotus Mountain, which is where we are right now, or Lotus Hill, as it's also commonly known. If you can get here slightly earlier in the morning, it'll be a bit cooler so you don't have to sweat too much. It's right in the city and there are a couple of these sorts of hills scattered around. Now, as you can see, we've got a fantastic view all over Shenzhen city, and in the next half an hour, hopefully we're going to take you right into there and all around. So enjoy!
Just down the road near the Lotus Hill, there's a new area bustling with shops, office blocks and government buildings. We've managed to get the theme parks and shopping out of the way in the last episode, so let's feed the culture vulture.
So when you come to Shenzhen, it's not all going to be about shopping. You can get a bit of culture in as well. We've made our way to the Shenzhen Museum, which is open every day except Monday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and rather surprisingly, but rather awesomely, is completely free. Let's go in with the kids.
The best way to learn about China's 30 years of reform and opening up is to visit the new Shenzhen Museum, which opened in 2008. You'll find it on Fuzhong Road at the heart of Shenzhen's brand new Futian Central Business District and Cultural Centre. Besides hosting touring exhibitions, the 32,000 square metre museum holds permanent exhibitions about the history of Shenzhen and its people. And you won't get lost in translation. The museum has 2 English-speaking guides and audiobooks in English, French, Japanese and Korean.
So, despite having a huge immigrant population in Shenzhen, they're still very, very proud of their Canton background and their Canton culture, which is highlighted in the first part of this area at the Shenzhen Museum. And then if you keep moving, just walking around, strolling, what you'll find is things to do with the hacker culture, which is also predominant here in Shenzhen. In Germany, because I find it very strange that you don't have to pay to get into this museum. Yeah, I would have expected it to be almost like derelict kind of museum, but it's very nice and it shows a lot of culture. Is that the same in Germany? Most of the museums free, or?
No, in Germany it's a different way. You have to pay when you go.
You have to pay.
Most of the museums.
It's the same in the UK and in France and everything. That's why I was a bit surprised when I came here.
Coming to the Shenzhen Museum really gives you a chance to learn all about the culture of the people in the old days who came here long before the city was made.
So for those of you whose Chinese is a little bit rusty at the moment, don't worry. They have fully interactive guides in English situated all over the place, as well as human guides who speak English. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed your trip around with the cultural relics, the Shenzhen traditional folk customs, and all those things. It's a 3-story building, and don't forget, it's all totally free.
As a migrant city, Shenzhen represents all regional cuisines of China. However, the one thing they all have in common, even if the food isn't the same, is the pre-meal cleaning process.
So what you'll find in many of the restaurants in China is that they've been disinfected. A lot of the pans and pots and pans and your plates and everything have been disinfected already. But in Guangdong, they go one step further in terms of keeping things clean, all your cutlery and everything else clean. Pour yourself a cup of tea. Don't drink it. Here, clean up all of your stuff. Here we go. Clean, spoon, chopsticks, and then discard. And then you can drink. So, fully satisfied and a bit sleepy. For lunch today, we tried out some typically Chinese food from Foshan. Very light and doesn't use too many spices. Most of the dishes retail around 20 to 30 RMB. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to descend into a little food coma now. Light on.
The Crane Lake Villa is one of the biggest Hakka residences in the city. Surrounded by modern buildings, the ancient residence, now a Hakka folk culture museum, is strikingly grand. Its wall required almost 5,000 cubic meters of mud, sand and stone to finish. And it's open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So the Crane Lake Villa was built almost 200 years ago during the reign of Emperor Qianlong in the Qing dynasty. And it's one of the largest walled complexes, Hakka style, in the whole of China. Now, for all you architectural buffs out there, it's a perfect chance to see what traditional Hakka architecture looks like. So the Crane Lake Villa used to be a huge residential complex and is now being changed into a traditional Hakka museum. Tickets are 10 kwai or 5 kwai if you've got your student card on you, so don't forget that. We're on our way. It's about 30 kilometers north of Shenzhen city centre, but we're on our way to Dafen, which is an oil painting village. See you there.
Although previously unknown, over the last 20 years, Dafen village has emerged as the world's largest mass producer of oil paintings. These days, around 8,000 artists churn out some 5 million paintings a year, bringing international fame and acclaim to the village. The story goes that Huang Jiang, a businessman and painter from Hong Kong, came to Dafen with around 20 painters and apprentices, drawn quite simply by its low housing prices. And from there, it just grew.
他们就给你那个照片，然后你就自己画是吧？对。这个多少钱？大概？
这个1000块。
1000块钱？不可能，1000块钱我不买。你最喜欢画是什么样的画？
最喜欢画那样画，赚钱就画那样画。
那样画
不值钱就不画。
Fair play, at least the guy's honest. It seems to be all about the money, as long as there's cash behind it. 是吧？你听得懂我说英语？ He understood what I meant. So 2 or 3 days for a single person and up to 5 or 6 days for 3 people. If you fancy having a nice little photo of yourself portrayed in a painting, come along here, come to this part of town.
Or try and come down here on a slightly nicer day and meander around the narrow, shady lanes whilst you take in the scent of painting oils which permeate the air and are soothed by the soft classical music which drift out from the storefronts. You'll find artists tucked into small nooks and crannies throughout the village, painting everything from abstract to Art Deco, folk to futurism, and realism to romanticism.
So, from the copies of photographs and portraits on the outside, we've also got originals here in many of the galleries that they have situated, where you've got shops and galleries intertwined all around Dafen. So, come have a wander around, check out some art.
The locals say that during peak times, there can be as many as 10,000 painters in the village, and many of the shops and stalls are open 24 hours. You're totally spoilt for choice.
If you get a little bit tired of haggling outside, you can take in the atmosphere in the gallery and enjoy a nice cup of tea surrounded by all this creativity. So we're heading to the Guanlan original printmaking village. It's situated an hour north of Shenzhen city centre. Hi, ni hao.
Hi, ni hao.
Morning.
Having got a taste of the painting scene, broaden your artistic horizons and head over to another tranquil village called the Guanlan Print Base. Here, you'll find an artistic and creative hub. Previously workshops for factories, more than 1,000 square meters of old buildings have been transformed into studios for print artists. Home for centuries to the hard-working Hakka people, the village consists of typical Hakka buildings with grand watchtowers shrouded by lively tropical plants. The first China Guanlan International Print Biennial was held here in 2007, and more than 1,000 artists from 57 nations submitted almost 2,000 works of art.
How did you end up coming here to Shenzhen?
Well, they invited me. I had been in there. They have an international print biennial, and I had been in 2 of them. And then after that, they invited me to come here.
Yeah.
So I said, yes, I'd love to. I felt I had never been to China before, and I felt that this was the opportunity to do it.
And how long are you living here on the premises now as well?
I'm living here in that old village over there with the 300-year-old houses. Yes.
How was that? How was that?
It's fine. It's nice.
Yeah?
It's comfortable. It took some getting used to, with food especially, but...
you get used to it. You get used to it. It's all right, right?
Yes, it certainly is.
Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania, United States.
And what is it exactly that you're specialising in doing here?
I do etchings.
Can you show us if that's...
Right here is one that I'm working on.
Ah, okay.
This is a first proof of it, and I work in stages, as most people do with etchings, and I've just drawn this on the copper plate.
From the sort of beginnings, what's your work method?
I carve the image in, both with a very sharp diamond needle.
Okay.
And
diamond needle, right?
Yes. Okay. And then I also etch lines in with acid. So some of these deeper lines have been etched into the plate.
So it's diamond and then acid to get it even deeper.
Right.
Ah,
yes.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. From start to finish, how long would the process take?
On a print like this, several months, probably 4 or 5 months.
Are you learning anything here? I mean, are you picking up anything new from being in a sort of different environment, in a different country?
Yes, I'm getting to talk to